People making a big case out of the John Edwards, Elizabeth Edwards, Riel Hunter thing. Elizabeth Edwards is not here anymore. She died, what was that, 2 years ago? And may she rest in peace. But I guess a lot of people forget that in relationships, it takes two to tango. And people seem to forget that Mrs. Edwards said certain things in public or was reported to have a nasty disposition. And I'm not condoning what John and Riel done, but then again, we don't know the ins and out. But what I find hypocritical that people are constantly talking about this, and only reason why I can come up why white America is so enthralled with this and why they act in a certain way, because those three white people act a fool on a national, I want to say act a fool. They put their dirty laundry out there. And white folk have a tendency to hate when other whites do shit, because blacks will say, see, we told you about them. Other people say, we told you about them. And watching The View this morning, I think they was very disrespectful to her. Now, Barbara Walters should be the last one to talk about somebody cheating or somebody breaking up a home or doing something. I guess people forgot that she was fucking this black, I think, congressman while he was married with his family, and she put it in her book. But now she want to pass judgment on somebody else. Whoopi Goldberg should be the last one to talk about somebody. She was fucking with Ted Danson, and he dressed up in blackface, and she defended that. She defended Roman Polanski, a child molester. She defended Mel Gibson, a racist and a woman beater. Elizabeth Hasselbeck has said racist things and dumb, hateful things over the years since she's been on The View. Dre Behar has said dumb, hateful, racist, and arrogant things as well. Sherry Shepherd said a bunch of dumb and self-hating things. So they should be the last one, or anybody should be the last one to judge a relationship. Now, if you haven't cheated or you haven't done something like that, then you can sit back and say, hey, I reserve the right to reserve judgment or analyze or criticize if that's what you choose to do or be. But for Barbara Walters to sit here and get indignant and say, I take issue with what you wrote, I guess Barbara Walters need to go back and watch some of her recent interviews or watch her tone the last few years. I never forget when Jermaine Jackson came on, how nasty they were. I never forget when Professor Michael Eric Dyson was on there, how nasty they were. There were other celebrities that have come on, they've been nasty, but those that stick out to me. So for Barbara Walters sitting there and talking past judgment about somebody sleeping with somebody when she was fucking a married man, she's a hypocrite. And then we've all heard rumors how she got to the top, but now she want to play like, well, I'm an 80-something-year-old woman, I didn't do that shit. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. On this show, her and her co-host have pushed rumors and innuendo and stuff, and then sit back and claim like, oh, it's just our view. Well, guess what? My view is they're a bunch of cackling hens. And to sit back and pass judgment of all of y'all have done something, y'all hypocrites. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But watching Barbara Walters question her about a relationship when she was fucking with a politician and a married one at that, come on. Elizabeth Edwards is dead. We respect the dead, but she wasn't a saint. Nor was Riel Hunter or John Edwards. White America need to let it go. White America make it personal. And the only reason why they make it personal is because Riel and John and Elizabeth put their shit out in public. All of them did it. And to sit here and call her a baby mama or a mistress or the love child, I mean, they could be cruel, man. Man, I can understand. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like hypocrites. And I think that the ladies of The View or The Talk or either of these shows where people give their opinion and pass super judgment when they know they've got stuff in the public domain that they've done, they should keep their mouth shut. Now I know y'all gonna say, oh Harvey, don't you do the same thing? Yeah, and I've admit my flaws, but I ain't never cheated on nobody. I've never gone out there and cheated on somebody and then turn around and pass judgment on another cheater. Come on. See, I can speak to that because I know I haven't done that. I can speak about politics in a way that others may not be able to speak of politics if you are paying or saying things that you know that you don't practice. That's what people should be focusing on. If John Edwards said something about families and responsibility, then yeah, people can criticize him for that. Rielle Hunter was a woman who was hired to videotape, and John Edwards did what any man would do if they are weak-minded or they having a troubled relationship. And she did what any woman would do when she come across a man with money and perceived power. She gave up the ass. I mean, let's not be hypocrites. Let's not pretend like everything is peachy keen, because it's not. But watching Barbara Walters and them do what they do after all the crap they've said and done over the years, they hypocrites. And they could have came at a little bit more respect. But it's like I said, this is not the first time Barbara Walters and them have done this. But I got a theory, and I say this again. White folk do not like when other white folks make them look bad in public, because now we can sit there and say, hey, y'all ain't perfect. This is why they love videos with people of color or people in the black community doing dumb shit, because they can hold it over our head. This is why it's hard to find certain images of them. They erase them. I'll give you an example. Just change up just a tad bit. It was a video that was on World Star Hip Hop where this white boy was beating up on this black boy. He was calling him nigga and hitting him and everything. Some people put the actual video up. Some people put the link up. As soon as I put the video up and some other brothers put the video up, the video got flagged. Want to know why? Because they don't want you to see them with their pants down. They got to keep up this illusion that they're the most civilized and we know better. Now, I'm not saying all white people are like this. Like, I don't say all black people are like this or anybody else. Well, we got to call stuff out for what it is. And the only reason why white media is doing this, number one, slow news cycle. Number two, they was embarrassed. They talk about president. Come on, I guess y'all forget that President Kennedy was messing around. He had multiple women. We forget that Richard Nixon then was doing Watergate. We forget that Ronald Reagan, the Iran-Contra affair. We forget what George W. Bush and Vice President Cheney did and done. We forget what Bill Clinton was doing in the White House. But everybody got an excuse for them. But I just find it ironic and just that they can sit and pass judgment on another person have done the very same they did. As I said before, Barbara should be the last one to pass judgment on anybody. If y'all think I'm exaggerating about her messing with a black man while he was married and she wasn't with anybody, because I don't think she ever been married. Go look it up. So when Barbara started playing that Holier than Thou shit, people need to check on her shit. Vote up, vote down, leave your comments.